Froggy Friday is a collaboration hosted by Lisa, Girl in the Garage, Karen, The Dragon's Cave, Loula, Nerd Goblin Art, Tim Watkins, Bass Resonator, and Gert, Gert Creates. Here's a frog mould. It's a new one, and that can only mean it's Froggy Friday. I also have some dried flowers, and these are flowers that I dried myself. This is silica sand at the bottom, and I picked these flowers about 2 weeks ago, cut all the stems off of them, and then spaced them out and buried them in the silica sand, covered them in the pots, and I've left them for 2 weeks. And here they are, nice and dried, and they've kept their colour really well, which I'm very, very happy about. So I've kept them in the sand, or in some sand, just to make sure that they stay dry. These are wisteria blossoms, these are buttercups, and I have some daisies, and I don't know what this is, but I'm guessing it was also some kind of a weed in my garden, because that's what I seem to be an expert at growing, weeds rather than flowers. Anyway, I have these. I want to put them in my frog. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up some craft resin, and let's see how I get on. I've mixed up a couple of ounces of the craft resin. I'm not planning on using all of this in here. I'm going to pour this in a couple of layers. So I'm going to put the first layer down. That way I hope that if there's not too much resin, the flowers won't float, and I'll be able to fill up the frog with flowers. So I'm laying this first resin down and making sure that I tip it into the head, and I don't want it to go up as high as the legs at the moment, so that'll be enough. Now I can choose the flowers. Just make sure that when I lift them up there isn't any sand on them. I'm going to dip them in the resin and flip them up just to make sure that any bubbles that are trapped under there have a chance to escape. It's going to be pretty difficult to make sure that there are no bubbles in all of them without the aid of a pressure pot or a vacuum chamber or something, which I don't have, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm arranging the daisy in the head, and then it's just a case of choosing the flowers that I want and placing them as best I can. I'll try and submerge them and make sure that the resin gets into all of them. There are some that have little pockets in them where the petals are cupped, so I'll try and make sure that I get the bubbles squeezed out of those. I'm going to pop some music on and let you watch as I position all of these petals.
Petals frozen in a timeless dance, whispers held in a fragile stance, shades of pinks that never fade away, greens that linger like a spring ballet. Dried flowers keep the love alive in the colors where memories thrive, pressed between pages held so tight, everlasting beauty in soft sunlight. Fragile edges speak of years long gone, frosted echoes of a vibrant dawn, pinks of the heart, greens of the mind. In these quiet blooms, eternity you'll find. Dried flowers keep the love alive in the colors where memories thrive, pressed between pages held so tight, everlasting beauty in soft sunlight. whisper all they've seen, in shadows of pink and hints of green. Fading seasons won't erase the glow. In their stillness they let our hearts know. Dried flowers keep the love alive, in the colors where memories thrive. Pressed between pages held so tight, everlasting beauty in soft sunlight.
The layer is set enough for me to now do my final layer. It's been curing and it's cured enough to touch, but it isn't fully cured, and you do that so that you don't end up with visible lines between your layers. You let them partially cure and then you can pour your next one on. I'm using these green leaves, which I think came from Amazon. I didn't dry these myself. I don't want these stems, they're looking particularly ragged, so I'm just going to snip off the leaves that I want. I don't know what they are. They look a bit like, got like a 4-leaf clover vibe. I'm using craft resin again, and before I pour that in, I want to add a little bit of glitter. I'm using some holographic glitter called Dazzling Diamonds. I really want only the smallest amount, but I'm hoping that this is going to disguise any bubbles that I might get, because I do suspect I'm going to get some bubbles from these leaves, and I'm pretty sure I already have some anyway. So I'm hoping that the glitter flakes will help to disguise anything, certainly the micro bubbles anyway. I've poured some into the frog, and now I'm going to lay the leaves in place. I'm doing exactly the same as I did with the petals, making sure they're submerged and trying to get any bubbles out from underneath them, and then using my stick just to position them. So again, I'm going to put the music on and let you watch what I'm doing.
Just speak of years long gone, frosted echoes of a vibrant dawn, pinks of the heart, greens of the mind. In these quiet blooms, eternity you'll find. Dried flowers keep the love alive, in the colors where memories thrive. Pressed between pages so tight, everlasting beauty in soft sunlight. Under glass they whisper all they've seen.
It's fully cured now, and I do have some areas of the leaves protruding, so I've left enough room to add another layer so that I can cover them. And I'm going to be using some UV resin for speed, just because I've waited several days for this to cure already. And I'm going to be putting glitter in this, so it is going to very obviously be a different layer, so that's why I didn't need this only to partially cure. I'm using some Let's Resin, UV resin. I'm going to put some in a pot, add some glitter, and then put a layer on the top and cure it. Okay, it's out of the mould and I don't appear to have any bubbles under the chin, which is good. And I don't appear to have any bubbles, or very many anyway. There is a bubble there in the buttercup, but I'm not really seeing any other. I love the colours. Purple is not my favourite colour and the wisteria hasn't really come out that well. But he's cute. But he's not finished yet. I want to add something more. And that's butterflies. I've printed out this sticker. This is white printable vinyl. And I'm just finishing cutting that out. I only wanted a few of these, so I didn't bother to use my Cricut to do it. It's easy to cut by hand. And this is printed on a piece of acetate. I used a colour laser printer, but you can use an inkjet printer, that's fine. So this is exactly the same butterfly. I haven't reversed it. It's printed once on white sticker vinyl and once on the transparency. So now if I can get the backing off, I can place it down on top of the print, and it's the printed side up. So I'm just going to line it up and then stick it down on top of the acetate. This will give me a double-sided die cut. Once I've got this in place, I'm going to cut round it and you'll be able to see the same pattern on both sides of the butterfly. Now I'm going to make sure that the printed vinyl side is upright and I'm folding it in half just to make it look like it's flying. And I'm going to use the same UV glitter that I used on the base of the frog to coat the wings. I'm going to mix up the glitter so that it's distributed all the way through, and then I can coat one wing at a time. Here it is. I'm going to place it on the nose. I'm using some B7000, but that's going to be a little bit slippery and take some time to cure. So I'm just going to hold it in place, and then I'll use some of this UV bonding resin and I'll put a blob on the nose and hopefully fix it in place. That will hold it still until the glue goes off. And I didn't stop there. I printed out enough to make 3, and I'm just going to glue them on the frog and use a little bit of the UV resin, bonding resin, so that they stay in place until the glue sets. And this last one I'm going to put over here where I've got that bubble so that it will disguise it. And it's sliding all over the place, so a little bit more of the resin. Oop, more than I wanted, but okay. And that is it. I really love him. I'll take some photos so that I can get some close-up shots. Don't forget to check the description box below. It will have the playlist link for all of the other contributors to this Froggy Friday. Please check out the videos and give everybody some love. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share and subscribe if you haven't. You should see a QR code and that will be a direct link to subscribe to my channel. You can scan it with your phone, and if you're on the TV, it's an easy way for you to subscribe to my channel. It's free and you'll be able to come back and see what I'm going to make next time. So I'm going to leave you with some pictures and say thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.